I'm from Ireland, and I studied quite a few things. I studied the BA and did a languages degree.
You could speak, I was amazed, okay? The reason I say this is that you take this so calmly, okay? We're just talking generally, and she goes, I can speak Spanish, I can speak Portuguese.
French as well.
And French as well, and it's like, what, you know, that's not the easiest thing to do. So you know, it's to do with the right side of the brain, I believe. You know, the creative side. You know, but what was the interest in there?
Well, when I was young, when I was 14, 15, I decided to go off to France on an exchange, and I was living with a family. And when I came back, I was pretty fluent.
Really? So how long were you there for?
3 months.
In 3 months.
But when you're young, you know, you pick these things up really easily.
So that means you can learn Punjabi in about 3 months, would you say?
I don't know. If you're immersed in these things, I think it's easy enough. I think I have an aptitude. I have a good ear. You know,
even, you know, we've been walking around and she's picking up words already. You know, that was amazing. You know, she probably knows as much Punjabi as I do. You know?
I don't think so.
No, mine's not that great at the moment. So that's brilliant. You know what's really nice, honestly, though, is the technology of the Kundalini Yoga is that I've had many people, and they've been coming up to me and they're saying, you know, the sort of the times we're in. You could even say, even because of the month as well, it's January. You know, the weather, and you know, the nights are long and everything. So people are not at their optimum. You know, and it's always nice to do small things that can just perk us up, really, you know? Yeah,
and that's what Kundalini does. It elevates you, it elevates your consciousness, your awareness. It's called the yoga of awareness, because that's what it creates within you, and it elevates your consciousness. It creates that connection between you and your soul, which for many people, I know for years that I was completely out of alignment, and that's why, because I suffered from depression, and like many people do.
Of course, of course.
Because you're completely disconnected with what you really are, and then there was all this confusion. I didn't know what I wanted, and that can be very painful, because there's a lot of pressure in our society to know what we want and to make goals and to be going somewhere.
And you have to be this super perfect individual with no problems at all. I know it, and reality is so much different.
Absolutely. But with the yoga has really helped me to, you know, de-stress, and people are always, you know, quite amazed sometimes, because I'm much better able to cope with life now. It's the Kundalini Yoga. People think yogis live all blissful and nothing ever happens to them, and they're like floating on a cloud all the time. That's not the reality of the situation. You get challenged. You might even get challenged even more, because you really have to be high. You have to be an elevated person to be worthy of this technology, I guess.
Also, I think you're facing reality head on.
Yeah.
You know, because some people, you know, they've got the challenges, but they say, I don't want to know about it. So it's still there. Yeah. They go through life, I don't want to know about it, but eventually they have to face it head on.
Yes.
You know, so it's having that knowledge of, okay, we can't take everything, but you just chip a little, and slowly, you know, you start to make some cracks and move forward, sort of thing.
Yeah. And that's what meditation is. Meditation is washing the mind, the subconscious mind, which has such a powerful impact over everything that we do.
Yeah.
I do another healing technology called theta healing, which also works very powerfully with the subconscious.
Wow.
Because people are living, people's lives are being dictated by their subconscious minds, because we create our reality.
That's so true, yeah.
For most people, I mean, I don't think I'm an exception to this. And my subconscious mind has a large role to play in that.
Yeah.
But with Kundalini Yoga, what you do is you're washing the mind. Every day we wash our body, but when was the last time that you washed your mind? And this is an important...
There is a sort of meditation, isn't there, on washing the mind as such?
Yeah, well, all meditations are doing that effectively, because you're building that connection, and you're lifting up all the garbage, all the subconscious stuff that you're holding on to, and you're becoming aware of that. And in that awareness itself of your subconscious is healing in itself, because then you can do something about it.
That is so true, actually.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, it's always nice, because why don't we do a few sort of things, and it'd be nice just to tune in as well. So we can even show the Sangat at home, you know, a basic aspect of what a class would be, you know. So
yeah, okay.
I let you lead, actually, you know. So, you know, in terms of even tuning in, sort of thing. So
okay, sure. So when in the Kundalini yoga class, it has the same format every time, and basically we start off. We do a little introduction about Kundalini yoga, which I think we've just done. Then we tune in with a mantra, so that we're using sound vibration. And which works very powerfully just to kind of get you focused, and it's connecting us to the masters who've passed down this technology, and it's just bowing to the master, to the guru within us, and also to the masters who've passed down this technology to us. So the mantra is Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, and we say it 3 times.
So, and it's Ong as in O-N-G.
O-N-G, yeah.
Ong, so it's that.
Ong Namo Gurudev Namo.
Great, okay.
So it's kind of like, it's long and extended. So we'll start by rubbing our palms together, just generating a little bit of heat between the palms. We have 72 meridians on our palms, so this is really stimulating all of them, stimulating the body, and just making us a little bit more sensitive to the energy that we have between our hands. And taking the palms together, bringing them into the sternum. And taking a nice deep breath in into your abdomen. Feel the breath go up through your throat, and exhale. Big deep breath again. Exhale, push the air out. And inhale to begin. Holding the breath in. And exhale, relaxing the palms down.
Oh, that's relaxing in itself. It's lovely.
Yeah, as the sound as you're chanting the mantra, the sound is vibrating in your body in different chambers of your body. So it is very. And even, I mean, I always start my classes with deep breathing as well, which is before we tune in, which is amazing in itself because people don't breathe properly.
It's funny it's funny because on all the shows, I think I try and stress that point, and it's it's a really, really good point, because sometimes, Sangatji, we do forget how to breathe, and you know, you can always, if you're in a stress situation, do you notice you start breathing from the upper? You know, it's like, no, you know, it's knowing how to use the whole stomach.
Yes,
you know, so.
And breathing into your abdomen. So really allowing that pranic energy, the air, to penetrate you and to immerse yourself in that. It's quite amazing, even slowing down your breath. In yogic philosophy, they say that we're born with a certain number of breaths. So obviously, if you're taking very short breaths, you know, your life isn't going to be as long as someone who's the ideal yogic breath is 1 breath a minute. So we're kind of aiming towards towards that in an ideal world. But you know, if you're feeling stressed at all ever, just take yourself into your own space and just do some deep breathing. 1 or 2 deep breaths even that will make a huge difference. Right into your abdomen and feel it filling you up.
Okay.
And listen to the sound of the breath as it comes in and out. It's quite amazing how that can. I mean, even before we tune in the class, there's a noticeable difference after just a
I guess
few
it
deep
changes
breaths.
the whole atmosphere as
Yeah.
well, really. Wow.
Yes.
So give us a few exercises, would you say? I think what would be nice, I think people on the whole, I think they get, as you said, they get stressed a bit.
Yeah.
It could be from anything. It could be something really small, you know, or it could be, you know, from work or anything. So I think it's nice just for, you know, the Sangha to just get an idea. So you're the teacher today, so.
Okay. So we'll start with we'll just do some basic spinal exercises.
Okay.
Because just to loosen up the spine.
Okay.
Because they say that the flexible spine is a flexible life, and it keeps you young, basically.
They say it's not by the number of years
that you've been on this earth,
but the flexibility of your spine, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
And people don't really move their spine at all. They have very, don't really, and people don't even sit up straight.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that I notice in my classes. You just, it makes a huge difference to how you're breathing. If you just imagine yourself, what I find useful is just imagine like something attached onto your head.
Okay.
And just separating all the vertebrae out. And that just creates a kind of spaciousness inside your spine.
Cool.
And allows the energy to flow a bit better.
I can feel, as long as you join us, if you're just sitting there, it'd be great. So let's do like a mini class as such. So yeah, you're on the sofa in the privacy of your own homes, just relax, enjoy. Look, we just got our sitting here cross-legged like this. So, just join us.
You don't actually have to sit cross-legged if that's uncomfortable for you. I mean, just sit in your chair normally. Just make sure that you're sitting up straight.
Good point.
Not slouched like this. Yeah. That's not really.
Yeah, not like okay, all right.
Yeah, that's not really good for this kind of thing, because we're trying to elevate our consciousness, not trying to put our bodies to sleep here.
True. And I think that's a big difference, isn't it? Some people assume that meditation is just, oh, that sounds easy, but it's actually it's relaxing, but it's quite an active process as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, when you start off meditation, you get all these thoughts coming in.
Yeah. And you don't even realize you got those thoughts.
They're like buzzing around the place, and it can be quite distracting. But the thing to do when that happens is to just watch them and not try to, fight them or get them out of the way.
Good point.
Just like let them come. Don't give them a place to land. Just watch them. Just notice them.
I like that.
Oh, okay, there you are.
How you doing?
That's fine. You just recognize it, because the thing is, if we try to avoid it and pretend it's not
we're
there,
actually giving it energy, aren't we?
Yeah. So just recognize it and say, okay, thank you, that's interesting, and then just move on. Just continue with it. Because when you try to ignore it, that's when things
then it keeps coming back to you.
Or if you try to fight it and get really annoyed and angry, that gives it more energy again.
Yeah.
And then more thoughts come.
Giving it rent. In there. No, it's good. I like that, actually. Okay.
So what I was thinking of, we're doing a meditation that I'm doing at the moment is Vaheguru, 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 Vahejia.
Okay.
And it's a really powerful meditation for clearing the arc line. So it's really allowing us to manifest. And it's also, this meditation is clearing away your karma.
Okay.
So it's clearing away all the karma, all the stuff that we're holding in our back. So it's just a very cleansing. It'll make you feel a lot lighter after you do this meditation.
That sounds good to me.
Kundalini yoga is like anything in life. You get out of it what you put in. So if you go to a Kundalini yoga class, or if you watch this and you're like, oh, this is rubbish, and you don't really do it, and you keep thinking that this is rubbish, that's what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, it's what you put in, what you get out.
But what I always suggest to my students is that it might seem a little bit odd. That's fine. Just give yourself an experience and see how it is in reality, rather than just going with your prejudices.
Yeah.
Have the experience and then decide if it's right for you or not.
I like that. I really like that, actually. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, because sometimes we're preconceived how things should be, but hey, enjoy the experience and then take it from there.
And Kundalini yoga is all about your experience. It's not about what anyone tells you. Nobody tells you what to believe or what to experience. The whole concept is about your experience. Because after all, when we die, our experience is all we have. Everything else is an illusion. Our experience that's everything. So that's why it's such so you should have.
You can't really argue with that, can you? But it's so true. Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Okay, so we'll start with this meditation, which I think you should mostly be familiar with the mantra, Vaheguru, 3 times, and then Vaheguru.
Okay, I like that.
So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our palms together and put them in front of us, and just imagine that there's a waterfall in front of you, like with lots of water. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up the water, feel as if you're cupping it in your hands, and then bring it around to your back and just release the water and let your hands fall. Okay. So as if you're cupping the water, bringing it up and letting it fall down at your back.
Okay.
So you're cleansing. It's a very cleansing really exercise. Nice, yeah. Okay. And all these Kundalini yoga is very famous for its arm. For its arm exercises, and the arms are really good for cleaning your aura. So anything using the arms extended
so
like that.
They say we do have an aura, and they've even photographed it, haven't they? Sort of
yeah.
thing. So yeah. So. And
your aura is what you're projecting, and it's also protecting you. Ah, so keeping the negative out. Okay. And obviously your karma is, you know, all the stuff that you've done, that it's just releasing all that subconscious garbage, if you like. So we'll start then. So we're gonna, again, it's lifting up the hands and letting just as far back as you can go. Okay. So as if you're cupping water. So we're going to do this with a mantra, which I'll sing in, and you can follow along with me.
Absolutely.
Vaheguru, 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 And bringing your hands up behind, Stretching them back as far back as they can go. Pulling in on the root lock, pulling in your sexual organs, the anus, pulling in on the navel. Holding the breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Pulling on the sexual organs, navel and anus. Pushing that energy up. And last time, exhale, inhale. Pulling on the root lock. And exhale, relax it down. Bringing the palms into the wrists onto the knees. Just experiencing that for a moment. Being with whatever sensations you have in your body. So how was that for you?
Feeling very calm, very chilled out.
Yeah. Did you feel and did you experience anything?
Things for me, it's that sort of calmness. And
Yeah.
I think that is so important, really. You know, especially as I say, we all live hectic lives, and it's nice to have a sort of technology where you can just do something, and in a matter of what, say, 5 minutes, you feel like a totally different person.
Yeah.
You know. And as I say, even I think the whole atmosphere around here has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, from when we tuned in, the tuning in makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
But there are other very simple breathing techniques that, I mean, if you're stressed out, for example, Satali breath, like just sticking your tongue out and breathing in through the tongue and exhaling through the nose.
Does that cool you down?
Yeah, it cools your liver down, and it really, if you're feeling angry or if you're feeling fearful or anxious, just do that. I mean, ideally 26 times is really good, but you know, just a few times will really cool things down and really put everything in perspective.
Because you suddenly get that anger, that heat, and it's like, this
is,
you know, and it could be the most unexpected thing. So it's nice to have that sort of quick sort of technology. Okay, I'll just sort that out. I remember actually doing that once. I was in Mumbai a couple of years ago, and you know, adjusting from winter to suddenly you're in, like, you know, 30 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I think, oh, I could really need to cool down. No matter how much water I was having or whatever, it just wasn't doing it. And I did that for about 26 times, and because it really hits the spot. You know, you suddenly get that heat, and it's that, you know, so that coolness. It really did. So it really does work. I mean, I found it really, really worked, sort of thing.
Cools down the liver as well, and the liver is where we store anger. This is why people who drink a lot, they're often quite angry. That's because that anger is all in the liver.
That's very interesting, actually.
Yeah. So you can even, like, if you're doing it correctly, you should feel it cooling your organs even.
Wow.
So it's really, really quite powerful.
It's interesting because they do say that in terms of, I know even some local authorities, they do, even for people who are recovering addicts and so forth, they do say, can we have Kundalini yoga?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even with Vineet as well, they said, are you a Kundalini yoga teacher? She goes, yes, because she was helping out drug addicts.
Oh,
because they found that it really does help them, specifically because it targets, you know, like you're talking about the liver as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, you do it in a gentle way because the energy's all over the place, but it really does help them, and they specifically do tend to ask for Kundalini yoga, interestingly. So.
Well, that's the powerful thing. They say that Kundalini yoga is 9 times faster than, say, Hatha yoga.
Okay.
That's written in the scriptures. It's a very fast technology. So, like I said, if you go to a class and you give yourself to the practice and just see what happens, you will have an experience of yourself. You will, you know, that will. It's designed to. All the yogas are designed to raise your Kundalini, which is your potential. It's like.
So you know what's really nice as well is that I think especially for myself, when I first heard of yoga, I mean, the main thing for myself is, okay, it's good
stretching.
Stretching, of
That's
course.
what people think it is.
But the thing is, it's good from a physical point of view as well, isn't it? So I think it has two sides to the coin. Physically, you'll get very fit in terms of you'll get healthy, and but then the other side of the coin, which I think people tend to forget, is the internal piece that you get. While still, I think they tend to think of a person who's a yoga person who's just living on, cloud 9 or whatever, and just
living in their cave up in the Himalayas.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, you're kind of facing reality, which is a much harder.
Yes, and Kundalini Yoga is actually designed for the householder, so it's designed for us living our daily lives.
Okay, yeah, no, that's right. I've heard that. What does that mean in a sense? So you're living your daily life.
Well, it's designed to help you. It's not a yoga. Well, I mean, you can obviously use the technology if you want to go and live in a cave, but the purpose of Kundalini Yoga is for people living day-to-day lives, married, with children, with stresses, and with all this stuff, life going on.
It's funny because it's interesting you say that, because from a Sikh perspective as well, Sikhism is they say it's the householders thing, because you're not supposed to go off in a mountain as well. So there's a lot of similarities on that aspect. It's like, you're supposed to live like a householder's, a family life sort of thing, being the lotus. So you've got all the mud and everything. Okay, you're just the lotus flower on top of it. So you're there amongst it, but you're not being sucked into it. Does that make sense? And so I think there's a great parallel there. Interesting, as you say. And they use, I think Yogi Bhajan, he tends to use a lot of the Sikh mantras in here, isn't he? Yeah,
he was a Sikh, and he was the one who, because it used to be, Kundalini Yoga is so powerful that it used to be a secret in India, actually. So it was very much passed down from master onto, disciple, and people had to prove that they were worthy of this technology. And it was kind of kept within certain castes, certain groups of people, because it's very powerful, obviously, and it's very fast technology. So it really shows you your power as a human being. So once you have, people say that Kundalini Yoga is dangerous. It is dangerous from the perspective that when you do it, you can't be manipulated anymore, because you have that awareness of what's going on. No one can pull the wool over your eyes. You know what's going on, and you have awareness of what's going on in yourself.
Your intuition becomes more powerful, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And you see the big picture of things. Like I said, you don't let things get to you. You don't. Well, for very long anyway.
That's really good. You mentioned some. I mean, in terms of exercise, because I've had some of the sons that they've very kindly been coming up to me during the week, and they said, "Look, could you give me a few exercises, that I could do?" A lot of people.
What kind of problems are they having?
Shoulders, back problems. I always say, look, if it's a basic thing, it could be due to stress, and and obviously a lot of people, they're on the computer as well, so a lot of stress builds up over here.
Really good exercise for shoulder stress, right, is one that's often used. It's when you inhale and exhale, relax, and then do that with like heavy breathing, inhaling up, exhaling down.
You can actually really feel the tension just
You're shaking it off you. Yeah. You're shaking it off you. And you need to do that for a few minutes, really. And it can be a bit uncomfortable when you're doing it. Obviously, what we always say in Kundalini Yoga is listen to your body. It's really important. Listen to your body. Because there are different types of pain. There's pain with just your mind. Oh, why am I doing this? Oh, this is rubbish.
Good point, yeah.
And then there's pain. Your body actually can't physically do this. So do listen to your body. This is something that we're completely trained not to do in Western society. We don't listen to our bodies. We go to the doctor and we take tablets to numb the pain.
But it doesn't actually solve the problem always, does it?
No, because you have an underlying issue. So, say you could be dehydrated and you've got a headache because you're dehydrated. Yeah. And you just take a headache, you just pop a pill.
And your body's talking to you, and you're saying, "I'm not listening."
Your body is always talking to you. All kinds of aches and pains. Your body is trying to tell you something, and we don't listen anymore.
That's very good point,
and then it'll obviously get worse. It'll manifest in some larger form if you continue to ignore it.
Yeah, so that's a very good point. So you get it while it's still in its sort of,
So I don't really like taking painkillers for that reason.
I think most people, given the choice, if they could do something, in a sense, alleviate any pain. Obviously, as I say, if it's something worse, and that's, you know, obviously you have to seek medical advice, but obviously they always say prevention is better than cure. So hopefully we're trying to prevent things getting up to the stage, that stage sort of thing. So that's really good. So, you know, if someone's at home, they just like that, so they just lift both their shoulders up?
Lift both the shoulders,
Yeah.
exhale down.
Oh, that's really good. And so, do they breathe in?
Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up
And
through the nose,
okay.
and exhale down. Do you want to do a few minutes of that?
Let's do 1 minute at least.
Okay.
So we get, yeah. I think,
Okay.
so you can watch us, you know. So,
Taking the hands into the lap.
Okay.
And inhaling, bringing those shoulders right up to the ears. And exhale, relax them down. Inhaling up to the ears. Exhale. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Nice strong breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Feel that tension fall off your shoulders. Shake it out of you. Closing the eyes, going inside. It's quite a strong movement. Bringing those shoulders up almost to the ears. That's it. Spine straight and tall. And inhaling, bringing them right up to the ears. Pulling on the root lock, pulling on the anus, tightening the anus, the sexual organs, pulling in on the navel. And exhale, relax it down.
Wow. Can really feel the difference. You know, like the energy, the sort of tension, it just, you feel it dropping off actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's really good actually.
That's what a lot of people say, like, because I like to do it as a warm-up.
Okay.
People, after they've been working in the office all day, you do carry it on your shoulders.
Cool. Now, you mentioned at the end, for a lot of people who may not know, you sort of say tighten the root lock and everything.
Yeah.
What is that about? I mean, is there a reason?
Well, it's just kind of encapsulating all the energy that you've generated in the exercise.
And pushing it up.
And pushing it up, yeah. Because with the Kundalini yoga, like all yogas, they're designed to raise your awareness, which is your Kundalini.
It's at the base of the spine.
It's at the base of the spine, yeah. So it's kind of just and through the yoga, it's a very safe way of preparing the body, the mind, the spirit for this energy to rise, this awareness. It's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. It's just awareness, you know. Some people aren't ready for it, which is fine.
Yeah, no, that's really good actually, because I think what's really nice is that they always say half information is dangerous, so it's always good to explain, I think, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to, you know, get hopefully the Sangha to understand exactly, you know, what we're doing. And as I say, if you have a class near you, you know, find out, I think, you know. So we will put details on the yitconscious.com website of, you know, of classes in the area. You teach in North London?
Yes, I teach in North London.
So if you're in North London, you know, go to Karamleen's class, you know, very good teacher. And what's nice, Sangatji, is that you get an understanding of how you teach as well. I think what I like about what you're doing is that you do explain and you have that sort of understanding, you know. So I think a lot of people's initial fear, and I say initial simply because they don't know what a class is about. So, you know, so just understanding if you go to class, you don't have to be this super fit person who can do 100 somersaults. You know, people have all this sort of image.
Absolutely not. Kundalini yoga isn't about that. It's not about, it's more about an energetics than the physical aspect. It does have the physical aspect, and it is a very dynamic form of yoga. It can be. But it's more about the energy, moving around the energy. And you do move physically to move that energy, but the purpose is to really get to that space of nothingness. And the exercises are just designed to, you know, get your mind to relax so that you reach that space. At the end, you just surrender. Yeah. And you can feel total bliss and peace. And, you know.
Would you say your life has changed small amount, average, or quite a lot since?
An awful lot, yeah. Since I started, it has very profound effects on you as a person. You know, it makes you more calm, more able to deal with life, and also like dealing with things like anger. You know, if anger comes up for you, like a few months ago, I got very angry. Something just triggers it, and it's something, because the anger is inside of you,
Yeah.
and the external event just triggers that's
Yes.
inside you. So something triggers it, and you feel really angry. I think this was probably the most angry I've ever been. A lot of time when we feel anger, and it's anger towards ourselves.
That's a very good point, actually. You know, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're kind of projecting it outwards. We're
Yeah.
angry with our spouse, with our boyfriend,
Yeah.
with our girlfriend, with him or her, with everybody, with the government.
Yeah.
But actually, we're really just angry with ourselves.
That's
What I found myself. I'm not, but from my personal experience, that's been what I've seen.
Actually, I agree with you, because when we're really truthful with ourselves, you know, in those quiet moments,
Yeah.
it's us we're angry with. Nobody else, really. We put the blame on everybody else. It could be for anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had my whatever, you know, veggie burger or whatever. I don't know, you know.
And it's such simple, irrelevant things. They don't
Yeah.
really matter. Like
Exactly.
a week, 2 weeks, even a year from now,
You laugh it
you're
off,
not going
thinking,
to remember.
why was I angry? That's such a silly thing. But at that moment, it's the biggest thing ever, isn't it? It's like, oh, whatever, yeah. But it's probably something. Some anger to do with insecurity as well. Whatever,
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of it is to do with insecurity, and a lot of problems that people experience is to do with low self-esteem, people not believing in themselves, and that goes for a lot of things. This is why people carry knives around.
Yeah.
Because people don't feel like they're seen. People don't feel that people don't value themselves.
From a Sikh perspective, we carry kirbans, and that's a different thing.
That's different,
yes,
yeah. I'm talking about, you know.
I know the hoodlum type things, or
but this is because they feel like they're invisible.
Yeah.
But when they hold a knife to your throat, suddenly they're important.
Yeah.
And this is what they're trying to do. So taking away their knives.
And they're trying to get that attention as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's, unfortunately, and I 100% agree with you on this, because you get people, as you say, they're within themselves, they have very low self-esteem, and sometimes gets to a point where they're craving attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only way they feel they can crave attention is to do something negative, because at the end of the day, somebody does something good. Say, for example, you know, 5 of us go out and we, you know, go to a homeless shelter or somewhere and get loads of food, or if 5 people were to do something violent to somebody, the newspapers would be on the violent bit, but the news on helping out the homeless shelter would probably get barely a mention. So
yeah, that's true.
So the negative actually gets more exposure and that attention. They use that. So
absolutely. And this is, I mean, that's why our people in the West anyway have very negative-oriented minds. And
I think it could be a worldwide thing. Honestly, I don't think it's any specific area.
I guess so.
You know, it's
globally, yeah.
Yeah. Because honestly, I mean, the way I feel is that, okay, things are different, but I think we really are moving into a global society, you know, where on the whole, you know, things are the same no matter where. Obviously, you get variations.
Yeah, that's true.
But humans are humans, the way I see them, you know. Somebody who might find a crisis in country A would still feel that in country E. You know what I mean?
True.
Because the emotions.
Wherever you go, there you are. That's what I discovered. So you can try to run. You try to run away from yourself and go somewhere else and hope that things will be different. But wherever you go, you take your baggage with you.
I like that.
Unfortunately, so you can't escape yourself. So the Kundalini yoga is a very effective way of dealing with yourself and dealing with your issues.
Wow, that's amazing. We were talking earlier, and you mentioned that. About kirtan as well. So, you know, in terms of, you have like an interest in kirtan? Or?
Oh yeah, I love singing. I'd like to maybe do a record or something at some point in the future.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
so if there are any people listening,
any musicians?
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really good actually. Have you ever done any sort of kirtan before?
Well, when I did my teacher training, I led some of the mantras, because in the early morning practice that we do, there's a selection of mantras that we all sing together.
Okay.
So
yes, I know. Okay.
Yeah, you've done it once or twice.
I have done it once or twice. Yes.
It really sets you up for the day. It's quite amazing.
I think
especially in the group.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about a class. You can do these exercises on your own, which is fine. But when you have the group, people coming together.
We call it the sangat.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's just having that group of people.
You can pray at home, and that's lovely. But something makes you come to the gurdwara, you know. So it's that coming together that generates a special energy.
It does, yeah. No, yeah,
Of the
absolutely.
Sangat, you know,
Yeah.
you have that community spirit experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure.
Is the time up already?
Yeah, I mean, even I'm amazed. I mean, time. Why does time fly, Sangatji, when you're just chilling out and having fun? You know, but you know.
We haven't even done any more of the exercises.
Do you know? Do you know what? I'm going to be a bit. Let's do a couple more minutes, okay? You know.
Do you want to do another one?
Let's do another one. I think I think it's so important. It's a case for the Sangat to experience. I think some of the technology. I think let's do it. Yeah, if you just bear with me, Sangatji, let's just do this. I think it's important.
So spinal flexes or supergrinds, what do you think?
Should we do you know what? You're leading the class today, okay? So I think spinal flex, we can explain to Sangat, what we're doing. It'd be nice to have some background music on that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Should we do that? Let's something we prepared earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
There we go.
Oh, wow. See?
Some nice chill out music. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into easy pose again. So
easy pose
cross-legged position. The ironically named easy pose.
Yeah.
It's not very easy, really. If you need to sit on a cushion or anything, just to raise you up, your bum up, that's absolutely fine. Or sit as comfortably as you can. Spine nice and straight. Head, chin slightly tucked in. We're going to do some spinal flexes. So the way this works is we're going to hold on to our knees.
Okay.
Then we're going to lead forward from the chest. Move the body forward, inhaling, keeping the body straight, keeping the head or the chin straight, parallel to the floor. And exhale, coming back. Inhaling forward, leading with the chest. Exhaling back. So opening up the heart as you come forward. Exhaling, collapsing back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. That's it. So you can make nice big movements, and it's also working with the breath here. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. That's it. We're really moving our spine in a totally different way here.
This is really good because, as I say, it increases your life, or does it increase your life, or
your flexibility?
Your flexibility, yes, I think that's the word.
And it's also the cerebral spinal fluid. Mm-hmm. It's pushing that up through the spine. And there have been some studies done that showed, because it goes into your brain. Mm-hmm. So there have been some studies done that this exercise actually makes you more alert, more able to focus, because it's pushing up that fluid into your brain. So it's a really good thing to do, and we never move our spine in this way.
It's so true, and I think it's really good actually, just getting that spine
moving,
yeah, because we probably don't do it since childhood, sort of thing.
No.
So, and it's amazing, I think, how quickly the body adapts. So if we just do it a few minutes a day, in a week's time, you'll be quite sort of flexible actually. And
inhaling, coming to center, pulling on the root lock again, tightening the anus, sexual organs, pulling in on the navel, closing the eyes, holding the breath in. And exhale. Feeling very relaxed actually, yeah. Hey, I could do this every week like this, Sangatji, it's like being in a class. Don't you do this every week? Thing is, the It Conscious show it's a mixture. So we try and get every week inspirational people on, and everyone has something inspirational to talk about. So they could come from different sectors. It could be from the finance sector, could be from the individual sector, could be from the personal development sector. And we've had a guy on who cycled from London to India. Wow. It's taken 6 months, so that's inspiration in itself. And then obviously yoga, Kundalini yoga, and we had a teacher on, I think, the other week where she does different forms of yoga, not Kundalini, but she has a big interest in there. So she was showing different types, So I try and get people on who have that one thing in common, where they're trying to not only better themselves, but they're also trying to do something for society as well. So so that's the inspiration behind the show. So Yeah, and that's why Kundalini Yoga is said to be for the householder, because we're supposed to spread this technology, not keep it in a cave for ourselves.
Absolutely.
We're supposed to elevate other people, be the forklift. That's what Yogi Bhajan said.
Yeah.
As teachers, we're supposed to elevate our students, being the forklift, lifting them up.
Definitely done that this week. You know, it's been really, really nice. I mean, I really thank you for coming onto the show. I hope you would consider coming back on, you know, in the near future, and just giving us some more techniques. You know, I think the fact that you did the spinal flex today, and things for stress as well. So that was really good. Just a really good technique on that one as well.
That's really effective for shaking out stress from your shoulders.
I mean, Sungji, we will get all of this onto our website, the ekconscious.com website. That's EK.
So you can find instructions about all these things. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sort of thing. So we'll put all of that onto the website. So we hope to get that on quite soon. But Karamleen, thank you once again, as I say, for coming onto the show.
You're welcome.
And, you know, gracious with your presence.
Will we finish with the long time sunshine?
Yeah, that'll be good. And there's more to it on the long time. We'll do it first, and then, you know, as I say, it became a tradition as well. But it has a sort of, I think, more of a personal connection, perhaps, with yourself.
Yeah, Yogi Bhajan heard this blessing, and it's actually an Irish blessing. And he thought, oh, that's really nice, and he took that, and he said that teachers should use this at the end of their classes. So some teachers like to sing it. There are lots of different tunes, and some teachers just say it as a blessing at the end of the class. So we're gonna sing it.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
With the yoga that we do, if you go to a class, or even here tonight, what we've done, we've generated a lot of energy, a lot of healing, a lot of light. So what I always suggest is for people to do is just to think about someone close to them, someone they know who could really do with a little bit of a helping hand at the moment, someone who's could do with some of that energy, someone who needs a little bit of a helping hand, and just visualize the energy coming to them as we sing the song. So the words are, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. We're going to sing it twice, so feel free to join in.
Cool.
Okay. So we're going to take our hands, bring them into the center of the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. We'll finish with a couple of three satnams. Satnam. 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 Taking the palms up over the head. And slowly lowering them down up to the crown. Foot in the center of between the eyebrows, to the throat. Truth to all. To the heart center in the middle of the chest. Love to all. And bowing down. grounding all your energy. Then when you're ready, just slowly moving yourself backwards, raising yourself up vertebra by vertebra with your head coming up last. Let's just take a moment to experience any difference you might feel in your body from when we started. Maybe there's no difference, but just recognize that.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. And Sangaji, thank you so much for watching. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Satnam.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Satnam, my name's Rajinder Singh, and thank you for coming to me, another show of Conscious Living. It's the show where we get inspirational people every week. People who try and do something for the community, who are doing something for themselves and have the skills that we can all learn from. I would just like to say, because I've just heard word last week, a lot of people went out. There's a lot of homeless people within the Heston area, and we went out on a food run. It's being run by Satinder Singh, and it's been really good. Helping Hands, I believe the organisation is. And it was really, what's the word, Sangaji? It was distressing in one sense to see people, it's so cold at the moment, as we all know, and they're living there on the streets, okay? It was nice for the Sangha to get, food, hot water. But what's really nice, I've just heard that Sikh channel. Basically, what they're doing is, they're providing them with food. I just heard accommodation as well, and so things are moving forward, and I believe a lot of Sangha out there, that's yourselves, Sangaji, are helping out. So it's just saying thank you, and we will get more information, for you to help further as well. Coming on to today's show, the tradition. I always get our fellow guests to introduce themselves. Why do I do this? Some of you ask. Simply, I think the person himself can always introduce themselves better. But just briefly, we have Nick over here, we have Phil, and Sangaji, I had to ask Sukiji to come. He's been such an inspiration. A lot of you have been asking for more information, and I asked him, and literally, I'm not joking, Sangaji, an hour ago, I was happy to meet him. I said, please, could you come on? And he kindly agreed. So thank you. Thank you so much for coming on here. I'll start with yourself, Nick. And, please, tell us a bit about yourselves. I mean, your background. I'll tell you in a moment, Sangaji, what they do, but, a bit about your background, please.
Okay, me, I'm originally from Leicester, so a Midlands boy.
Midlands boys. Yeah. We have a lot of people from the Midlands watching.
Yeah, that's good. I moved down to London around 2004 to work. Actually graduated in 2002, and there's a bit of a struggle, actually. I graduated during a dot-com recession, and it took me about 2 years to find a job.
So this would have been about 10 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. 10
years ago. Yes. Sat at home in Leicester applying for jobs, rejection after rejection after rejection.
I think a lot of people can actually relate to that right now, They were talking about the housing, the job market. I think they were saying today, how I think we're at the worst ever, aren't we?
No, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. It must have been something like after 200 or 250 rejection letters.
Wow.
So someone gave me a chance. One person actually believed in me, gave me a chance, and that brought me to London. Wow. And then, from there, I started working in a marketing company. From there, I moved into working in finance, recruitment, where I met Phil. And then from there, I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Okay, well, that brings me on. Thank you for that. It's nice to have a background. Now, Phil, as I say, we were just talking about the homeless aspect, and now you were in a charity. I mean, we were just talking. Yeah. So you have some kind of experience in this area. I mean, what is going on? What happens in this area? And this is, you worked in a charity. So if you just tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from London originally.
Yeah.
I did a psychology degree.
Yeah.
And after doing that,